Hi guys, and welcome to your daily tarot reading for Monday the 27th of February. I want to use the Tarot of the Mystic Spiral today. And let me show you these cards before I use them. I don't know what they look like myself. Okay, so a unique style, and they've changed some of the meanings here in this deck. So I always find that useful because a new perspective on a card just adds to that card's meaning and what it's able to express. So let's see what the tarot wants to say here about Monday the 27th and what energy you'll be working with. First, we've got the Eight of Chalices, the Eight of Pentacles, and the Knight of Wands. Okay, interesting. So we've got two minor arcana cards. Those are the temporary influences. And then we have a court card, which is either a certain quality that you possess, or it's someone who comes into your life who really is about a particular type of energy. Okay, so the Eight of Chalices, that is in the suit of cups, and cups is water. So water allows you to connect to the higher realms, to connect to other people. It's your intuition, it's a sense of love, it's creativity, it's the imagination, healing, music. Anything that's kind of invisible that makes you feel connected is governed by water. And by the time we get to the Eight of Cups, we're pretty high up in the suit of cups. It goes from 1 to 10. 1 being the ace, the blessing, the quintessential nature of that energy. And then it works its way up. Usually by the time we get to 9 and 10, it's heavy. It's almost too much of a good thing. So we've got a lot of water here via this card. So that immediately highlights your ability to do all of those things, to connect with other people, to love, to create, to listen to your intuition. We've got the moon there as well, which sometimes indicates fear. So the solution to fear is faith. And if there are things that cause you worry, on this day, it's going to be easier for you to kind of hand it over to the universe so that it kind of follows its natural path and you're able to align yourself with that process. So you don't dig your heels in, and that saves you a lot of time and effort and grief. But the Eight of Cups in itself, so 8 in numerology is power and strength. So we've got this power of all the ability to connect here. But the 8th card is about walking away from something because there's a feeling of something's missing. There's a feeling of, I've created all these wonderful things. Usually the 8 cups are lined up at the front of the card, and you can see someone cloaked in red and blue walking away from those cups. Here it's shells, and each shell represents an emotional safe haven, an emotional security. And usually one of the cups is conspicuously missing, and it's that inner feeling that says, okay, I am grateful, I've got all these great things happening, but I feel something's missing, and I feel compelled and driven to continue on my journey, to walk away from these things, to have no guarantees, and to say, do you know what, I might end up with nothing, but I absolutely have to take this risk. I have to pursue this feeling because something bigger is telling me there's a love or a home or a connection out there that's so significant that I need to walk away from these good things, and I need to find that. And here we've got these snakes in the background kind of scaring her, and the snake to me represents wisdom. So it's this emotional truth that comes in that says you're not done on your journey. Look to the future, look what comes next, and let go of the things that either no longer serve you, or kind of step back from them a moment and see what else is out there for you. The Eight of Pentacles then is in the suit of Pentacles, which is the element of earth, and that has to do with productivity and the ability to do good work. In fact, I think the Eight of Pentacles is the one card in the deck that's most about you are effective, productive, prolific, you're good at what you do, you're consistent, you're strong, and you're skilled. Again, 8, two eights, a lot of power in terms of your work via this card, and a lot of emotional and spiritual power. Both of these are feminine elements, and they're about receiving. So the ideas come in and the strength comes in for you to take practical action. What's interesting is that in this version of the Eight of Pentacles, we've got someone working away diligently and beautifully, but each of these things that he's created looks different. And that's kind of interesting to me, because usually in the Eight of Pentacles, all the pentacles are exactly the same. And it kind of reflects this person's ability to do work that's repetitive or not particularly creative or enlightening. But in this deck, we've got 8 discs, which are completely different. And he's doing an amazing job. So the message I'm getting is that I don't think, and particularly with the wealth of creativity and intuition here, I think any work that is overly repetitive and boring, I don't think you're going to be that creative about it. And you may even get frustrated. So the cards are telling me that it's important for you to listen to your feeling and for you to engage with work where you can have some influence on it, or where you can include yourself in it somehow. So here, he's including his vision for all these different things. He's not just going by some template that he's been told to create. So, yeah, I think with the Knight of Wands here, which is fire and heat, and it can be frustration and it's life purpose and all those good things. But I think if you force yourself to do something which you've had your fill of, and you've had enough, it's boring, and you could do it in your sleep. The problem, I think, on this day is that you could really just get to a point where it's like, enough of this, I'm not doing this anymore. You blow up and you walk away from it. And the cards are saying if that kind of thing happens on this day, which is less than ideal, it's still wise to have that moment and to walk away from it, even though that will be inconvenient in your practical life circumstances. But it's a moment of truth. The way to manage this is to do those tasks and those jobs where you do feel some affinity for them, or you do feel like they speak to you creatively somehow, or you're able to express something through the work that you're doing. Those will go best and will allow you to be productive without having this moment of something snaps and I'm walking away from it. So the Knight of Wands then, the Knights are always a bit chaotic. They're right in the middle of mastering the element. They're getting warmer, but they haven't quite had that breakthrough yet. And the Knight of Wands is in the element of fire, and he's very passionate about doing something in his life that's meaningful and that he's passionate about, and where he feels like he's making an indelible mark, and he's used all of his strength in a way that is appropriate. So it's someone who's trying to attain meaning through the things they do in the world and the way they present themselves and the way they work and everything, basically. And the Knight is extreme, so he's good in the sense of when this energy comes in, it's strong enough to really blow away any kind of structures or restrictions that have accumulated in life that make you feel totally stuck. So I've been working for the bank for 10 years. I've put all this in the stocks. I can't leave this job even though I can't face another day of it, but I've built all of this, so I need to continue it. When the Knight of Wands comes in, he's the required fire to say, okay, just because I invested in this for 10 years doesn't mean I have to invest in it another 10 years if I'm not happy. I can change course and direction. And sometimes you need that explosiveness to be able to have a moment of, I'm liberated, I'm free, I'm able to walk away from this, even though I still have strong connections or ties, or I care in some way. On the downside, the Knight of Wands, if he doesn't get what he wants, or if he doesn't make progress, then he can throw his toys out of the pram and have a hissy fit and get really annoyed and be very destructive. So again, with these two cards, the work isn't challenging enough. I'm getting really annoyed. That's to avoid. And here, this is really where most of the work happens. What is it that's really important to me? Where do I feel compelled to move to by some sort of wisdom that's almost external to myself? And how can I go about doing that? So getting creative with your own life journey and working on that as such. Number-wise, we've got 8 and 8 is a lot of power, but together they're 16. And then a chord card which counts as 1 is 17. 1 and 7 is 8, so we've got another 8. So really, there's a strong, powerful spiritual connection which is interested in you walking the right journey. You're able to work that into your life, manifest it in a practical sense. And the thing that allows you to differentiate between what's right and what isn't is your level of feeling, motivation. I want to do this. If that's there, do it. Wow, so it's a strong start to the week. I hope you have a wonderful day. If you'd like a personal reading with me, please get in touch via my website. It's gregoryscott.com. On the front page, click on book your reading to audio reading with me. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Please hit subscribe and share the video online. Have an amazing day, and I'll speak to you tomorrow.